Hey, what's up everyone, X here, bringing to you nearly enough my thoughts and opinions on Goodbye Volcano High. Now this game basically has just come out, and I've decided to give nearly enough my thoughts and opinions on this game. I just want to clarify that I give a review 1 to 2 weeks to get my full-fledged opinion on, and I'll be basically going through the good shits and the bad shits that Goodbye Volcano High has to offer. Without further ado, let us begin. Now, to basically give a clarification on what Volcano High is basically a pick your own sort of type of adventure, where your actions make huge consequence on how the game will turn out, and then some. You basically play as this emo chick pterodactyl lady called Fang, who's basically been up all summer, basically designing a new song so none of her and her crew can use that for the Battle of the Bands, and then some. Basically, there's more or less things that you can do for the game. For instance, like design your logo or do miscellaneous tasks. But the two main key things that you'll be probably doing is, well, writing music, and playing the classic LNL, which is the game's version of Dungeons and Dragons. In it, you can bond with many friends and many people that you, quote, meet, a grand total of 6 or 7 or so. Basically enough, the closer you are with these people, the more close you are with them, and the more bonds you get with them, you can unlock certain things such as photos or flashback scenes in general. And nearly enough not to mention, for the fact being, the closer you are with that person friend, the might special something come the way, if you know what I mean. But that is near enough everything to near enough go over on what the game has to offer. So now let's move on to basically the good shits and the bad shits. Starting off first with the good shits, the first thing I've basically got to point out that I like the most is the main protagonist that you play as, Fang. Now for Fang, really, I can literally get around this woman and kind of understand where she's coming from and what she wants, coming from my personal opinion. And then some. Even some of the other characters that you meet along the way, literally enough made me want to laugh, and could literally enough say I would want to hang out to them if they were real people too. Furthermore than that, the game's social page that keeps up with stuff as you progress through the game, literally half of that stuff made me want to roll on the floor laughing. Even my own personal favorite that I saw there, Meteor These Nuts, still has me fucking laughing and bawling to this day. Not to mention the other two things that you will do in the game, the music and playing LNL. I wish I could play some of the music that you play, but I'm not going to because of copyright reasons. I fucking enjoyed the most, to where it feels like you're playing something from like Hatsune Miku, to then it switching into something like sci-fi and fantasy and whatnot as well. But that is the end of everything for the good shits, and now moving on to the bad shits. Now for the bad shits, I'm going to be frankly honest, there really ain't not much to say about this, which, surprise surprise. First off, to go over the models for some of the characters. Some of them are a bit clanky and wonky as such. Episode 1 is basically a clear understanding, because you do seem to find a ton of tad bit of glitches here and there, and henceforth. But the other thing that I do find a problem, most of all, would be the flashback scenes. Now for instance, there's only 6 in the game, and I really wish that there was more. But the main problem that I have with the flashback scenes is it's just complete utter silence. You don't have the characters, they don't speak. It plays like in a comic book sort of way, which I find that okay, but it's just quiet. You hear nothing. No actions, no voices, just feels like it's in a plain old comic book. But also, the flashbacks are something that Fang remembers. There are 2 flashback scenes that I saw that don't have Fang in them at all. So I don't understand why Fang should basically know about this when she wasn't even there. But the final thing that I want to point out that during the start of the game, there was tons of major glitches on some of the characters. But as I have made this review, I have found that most of these glitches and that have been fixed and patched. So this would have ended up being a bad shit, but it turned into a good shit, which I really gotta say, big up Team Fangs for basically fixing this stuff and not basically leaving it to be. And that is nearly enough about it for the good shits and the bad shits. Which brings me to my verdict, and that is this game good? I'm gonna say yes. This game is hands down good for basically a company that have just started off, and I near enough want to point out a few things. First, I did show this game off to a few people when I stated that I might make a review on this. They basically, when they first saw this, they saw it as basically a dating sim, or basically something for furries. When I near enough want to point out, there's nothing to do with that stuff at all. If I could basically reference this game from two other games in general, I would say Life is Strange Season 1 and Night in the Woods. Now those games, in general, they didn't have at all any dating, no romance, nothing whatsoever. I could say Life is Strange when it comes to the LNL stuff, and Night in the Woods when it comes to basically practicing for a band. Such things like May and the others did in general. But would I recommend you play this? If you're interested in making your own types of adventures, playing Dungeons and Dragons, or nearly enough playing music, I would say yeah, play it, get the game. And I've got to say, for Team Fangs making this game as it is, I hope basically they do more bigger and better games in the future. Tiny bugs and glitches, but again, they can patch it out like they've done before. But what do you think? Do you agree with my decisions? Do you disagree with my decisions? Or how else basically would you basically put this game down? I would love to hear none of your opinions below. With that being said, if you did enjoy this review, leave a like. If you didn't, then I don't. I'll give a rat's ass. If you're interested in joining the Rat Kingdom in any way, shape or form, then a link to our Discord server will be in the description below. But that all being said, I hope you enjoyed, and as always, peace. DX is out.